Hi guys, welcome to Becodewala. I welcome you to the part 2 of our EdTech platform landing page. So we have built in the last tutorial home, curriculum and why choose us section. Now we have to build the how it works testimonial and the pricing section, and then we can build the footer. So we will complete all these things in the part 2, right? So if you are new to our channel and if you have not watched the previous video, go and watch and make sure to subscribe and share with your friends. So let's start with the code of this section, how it works. So similarly, like other section, in this also we have a similar heading and the paragraph, and here you can see that every component has a same structure, right? Just the color, the icon, the number and this content has changed but have similar style. So we will make one component and we will map each data. We have to change the data, right? So we'll map each data over this component and it will apply all this data on each component and it will be in this series, right? 1 2 3 4 5, and then here we have a simple div and with a heading and a paragraph and the get a start now button, right? So let's create this part. So I will go to my VS code and I will create a component name how it works dot tsx, right? So how it works dot tsx. So in this we will create a react arrow function, right? And then we will import the icons that we need in our this component. So this is the icon that I have imported from our Lucide React. You can go and search these icons and import it, right? Now we can give a type of this react.fc, and then we have to create the data, right? Like other component, we create a array of an object and we map each data, right, over all these components. So we have created, I have already created a steps. So first, in first step we have a change, we have to change the icon, then we have a title, right, then your description and the color, right? So we have a this 5 step. So you can see that we have a 5 step and we have created the data for each step. So this is the way to create your this all these steps, right? So we will create one component, we will map the data, so no repetition of code will be there. So we have created an array of object and we have a 5 object, and each object have a icon, title, description and the color, right? So we will use this, and not only this, we have a use the get color classes. So here each have a different colors, right? Each section have a different icon color, right? So how we are going to get this? And to get that, we are have created a get color classes like other in other section that we have created, right? So maybe in this, so let me check, did we have created not in this? Yeah, in the usp section we have created a get color classes where we have defined some colors, right? So we can use in our component below. So we have already defined this color and we have used in this component. So similarly we have created a get color, right? So in this we are passing the parameter, in this function we are passing the parameter color, and color is a type of string. And if you have used blue, then it will apply this gradient and this background color and the text this blue 600, right? So this we are going to use in this components, and then For the orange and the teal, you can see that we have defined some here objects, and each object has a property, this Tailwind classes, right? And after that we are returning colors as a type of colors. So here the type of colors is a string, and each colors has a object, right? And here we are passing as a parameter color and the type of object, right? This is the object. So let's write the JSX part of it. So in the JSX part, we'll create a section, and don't worry, we will get the full source code of this project for free, and you can go and give a star on my GitHub for this project, and you can follow me on the GitHub, right? So let's create this section. So in this section we'll create a div, and in this we'll create one more div, and in this we have to use h2 tag, where we will display how it works. So this is the how it works. So similar like other, here you can see that like other we have a same style, right? Just we have to change the content. So we have to change this. So let's style our section first. So class name, we can write padding from white 20, then background white, right? Then we can style this div also container, and here we can write mx auto, so it should be in the center, and make sure to responsiveness. And then here we can write class name and make text center, and then margin from button we can write 16, right? Then like other, we have to apply this h2 tag also. So in h2 tag, let me copy and show you here. In h2 tag what we are going to do. So in h2 tag we have defined a class, right? This text, like text size on the medium, greater than medium devices and the small devices, and then we have a font bold and the text color, and the margin from button is 6. Then we have to design this part, how it works have a different color. So we have to use a span tag that I have explained in the last section also, right? And in a span tag we have to style this, and here we are using bg clip text for the this background color apply on the text, and the text transparent. Then below that we have a paragraph tag, right? So let me show you. Here we have a paragraph. So to show this paragraph, below this h2 tag we have to show a paragraph where the text size will be XL, text color max width 3XL, and the MX auto. So this is the text that we want to display. Then after that we have this card. So we will make this card, we will style one card, and we will just map the data over it, so that the data should be appear. And you can see that the position of this batch says 1 2 3 4 5, right? So we will see this. So let's go below, and here we will create a div, and we will use the position as a relative, right? Because we have to make each element over it, right, according to the parent. So relative, and then here we can write a div, and in this div we can create one more div, and then we have to map our data. So here in the steps, so steps array of an object that we have created above the all data, right? So we have to map all this data. So let me map of this data step comma index. So each when you are using, so we are using map, so we will use key always, right? So let me use this div, and each this div have a key. So key equal to index. So you can give id also, we can define in the object, so that will be better. So here we will define hidden on the small devices, it will be hidden and lg block. So we have to go this part, and here we can make flex and items center, then justify center, then we can make other way, we can make between, so that it will take the space between, and margin bottom 16, right? So here we are hiding this on the small devices. Let me go on the small devices, and let's go to that section. So because we have to show in this way, so you can see that we have used timeline. Here you can see that a line between this each card, right? So we are using timeline, so we have to style for the small devices in a different fashion, like in the timeline, but on the large devices we are not showing in the this fashion, just we are using arrow, right? So that's why we make hidden. So we are designing for the desktop, so this is for the desktop timeline, right? So let's, here in this we can make this class name flex and items center, then after that we can create another div, and div of class relative. So class name is relative, and then we can create another div. Let me copy and paste and show you. So here I'm going to create another div. So what this div does, so we have to write the use this, that get color classes function, right? So to use the that function that acts like a javascript, so we have to use in the classes, so that's why we use the curly braces with the back tick, so that's called embed literals, right? So that is called string interpolation. So here we are using the javascript inside this tailwind classes, so we are using template literals, and in this with the dollar sign we have to define the this function. So function has a parameter step dot color, so function is accepting the color. So here if first card is there and the color is blue, so here the color as a blue it will come for the first. So here if blue matches, then it will apply this color, right? Suppose here in the steps we have a green color, right? We have used the color name as a green, so in this function the green will be passed here, then it will if it will find the green, it will apply this gradient, right? And in this gradient we have a this style background text and all. So if that thing will match, it will show. So here we are using gradient, so step dot color, so this is, suppose it will come blue, then it will apply this gradient on this, right, on this div. So this how, this is just some simple access of an object in a function, right? So after that we can create one more div, and what we are going to show. So suppose here how we are going to show 1 2 3 4. So each has a index, right? Each has a index, so we have to increase that index plus 1. So suppose here have a 0 index, so we will make is how we are going to make is we'll add 1. So 0 plus 1 1, then so here the index will be 2 for this element, sorry, for this element index will be 1, but we have to show 2, so we have to add 1, right? So index start from the 0, right? So to get that batch, we can create a div, right? And in that div we can show these batches. So let me show you. So here I will create a div, right? And in this div what we are doing, right? So here position absolute, because we are styling related to the parent, and from top -3, and from the right -3, right? And the width and height for the badges, and background white. So you can see that the background is white for this 1 2 3 4 badges, right? Then simple Tailwind classes style, right? So after that we have to show this number we have to show. So index will be 0, right, for the first, but we want to show here 1, so we will add 1 plus 1, so it will show that batches, right? So this is the logic we have to write. Let me format this document. Then after that we can go and create another part here. If the arrow, see how we are going to show arrow. So after the fifth element we are not showing arrow, right? After the first element, second element, third and fourth only we are showing arrow. This is the row wise, right? So to show that arrow not on the fifth element, so how we are going to show? So let me show you. So I'm going to show show you. So here below this div, so we can go this div, and in this div we can create a, we have to write a JavaScript inside. So how we are going to write JavaScript in the JSX? In the curly braces. Here, if index suppose, what is the index of this element? 4, right? 0 1 2 3 4. So it start from the 0. So that index will be 4 for that element. And then steps dot length -1. So steps dot length, what is that mean? So step dot length means this, what is the length of this? So 1 2 3 4 and 5. So we have 5 object in this, right? So step length we equal to 5. 5 minus 1, 4. So if index, so index is 4 and less than 4, so it is false, right? So we have to make sure to not show on this, right? So here the index is 4, right? And here a step dot length is 5 minus 1 means 4. So this, so 4 is not less than 4, right? So it will show this arrow icon when the index is less than this, right? So for the remaining element, for this element the index will be less, right? Less than 4, right? So then only it should show arrow. So this is the arrow icon that we define width, height and color of this. So this is the logic we have to think and we have to build this. So after that let's go for the styling. So another part, so let's go, and after this div, and we can go and create another div. So let me create a div, and there we will show. So we have created badge, right? This arrow icon, right? So we have to show this card, right? This paragraph, right? So we have not shown the paragraph, just we have shown the icon, badges and this arrow. We have to show this heading and the paragraph, right? So we have to show this also. So we'll create a div, and in this div will map steps.map and in this will pass step comma index like above. So we have to get all the data, right? Then here we can create a div, and in this div we can define the key as an index, and then we can define the class name text center, right? And for this div we can use the class name grid, right? And grid calls. So we want to show five element on our large devices, right? Grid calls five, because here you can see that the five elements showing on this my screen, right? And gap 8, so gap between these cards, right? Then we have to show heading, right? So to show heading we have used h3 tag. So let me copy and show you. So here I'll copy paste. So I have created a h3 tag. In this h3 tag we are going to take the step title. So we have mapped these steps, and in this steps we have a title, right? We have a steps. In this step we have a title, so it will take this title, right? And in this we have a description also. So here we are getting this the step dot title. So with this parameter we are accessing this object values, right? So this is the simple map function that we have learned in the JavaScript. And here step dot description, and we have a style, right? Like how the text color, how the size will be, right? So these are the simple Tailwind CSS. So we have designed for our large devices. On the small devices, for this card, let me show you. It is in this function. It is showing one at a time, and it is in a column wise, right? Not in the row wise, right? And it has a not an arrow. It is a line, a gray line, right? So we have to make this in this function for the small devices. So to make that we have to go and create out of this div. Let me format first. So let me go out of this div, and we have to create for the mobile. So we can create a div, and in this div we can map steps dot map. Then we can define the step as a parameter. We can take an index. Then here we can create another div, and we can pass the key as an index. So it is like similar like above, right? And we don't want to show this because we on the large devices, right? So we can write on the LG, we can make it a hidden, because for the large device we have already created, and this one we are creating for the small devices. So space y8. Then here we can define the class name, and in this class name we can add flags and items start and space x. In x we have 6. Then we can create another div, and we can make flex ring. So class name relative position relative, and then we can make flex shrink, and it will be 0. And you can hover on it, and you can see the flex ring 0. This is the Tailwind class. And see the in like in the normal CSS we define right with the dot. So this is the Tailwind classes. So no worries. So we can create another div, and in this div we can get the color, right? We have to get the color. Where is it? So like this we have to show in here. We have to get the color and the icon, and these batches we have to show in the row wise. It is like similar only, just we have to replace arrow with this line, right, and make it in a column wise. So simple as that. So I will just copy and paste this part. So let me show you. So what I have done here, so in this we have created a div, and in this div we have get the gradient color for the icon. Here we are using a step icon, right? Here also we have used a step icon, right? The step dot icon. So in this icon what we have passed, icon as a video user check, right? So we are getting that data from the object that we have created, right? And just we have to style how the background color will be, how the shadow will be, at what position it will be. So these are the simple CSS, right? Now we have to show the right badges. So to show the badges we are using index plus one, right, like above. So we have created a div, and in this div, like above, we have increased the index because it start from the 0, and we want to show 1 for the first batch. And then we are showing the lines instead of arrow. So nothing to worry, we are not using arrow icon, just we have created a div, and this div has a position absolute top 20 from the top, and the left 8, and the width and the height. So height is more and width is less, so you can see that width is less and height is more. So so this is a small div. So using div we have created the line, right? Instead of arrow showing we have created the line. Then after this we can show. So after this div we can show the heading, right, and the paragraph. So here we have similarly like above we have created heading. In this heading we have a h3 tag, and h3 tag we are showing the title, and the paragraph we are showing the description. So these are the simple CSS and the accessing of the JavaScript, that object, right, object values. So let me format this document, and then we can go out of this div, and the remaining part is like, so we have closed this. So remaining part we left with this car. This is the div. In this div we are showing this heading, this paragraph, and the get start now button. So let's create that. So we'll create a div, and in this div, so I'll just copy and paste and show you for this part. So div heading paragraph button, right? So let me show you. So here I have just created a div, and we have taken margin from the top 16. So here this is the div, and the margin from the top is 16, some space, and we have make in the center, right? And then we have created a div, and in this div this is the background white, right, some color that we have applied, and it is from the blue to till 50, and the rounded 2xl, and the padding between this div from the all sides, right? Some padding. Then we can we have created a heading, start your journey today, and the paragraph. Then we have a start now button. So these are the simple CSS style, that this is the same button, just we have changed the text and the simple one heading and the paragraph. So you can build this. So here, next go for the another section, the testimonial section. So you can see that we have added a functionality to go the next testimonial. You can see that, and it will go the back also and the back and forth. So we can create this. So here we have the same heading and the paragraph, so like other section. Then in this we have a div, and in this div we are showing this star icon which is 5 all over the card. Just we are changing this David and the machine learning, and the here we are changing the paragraph, right? You can see that this below profile data, then we are changing this data and the name and the category, and this here we are changing the this paragraph. Every otherwise everything is same. So here, and we have added a functionality on click of this, we are getting the previous and the after this, all this testimonial that we have received, right? And below we have showing the how much students and course completion. Like here you can see that, like in the other section we've created, we have to create one div. In this div, then we have to make these three of the div in a row wise. Then for this we have create a separate div, and we have to make in a column wise. So to make it in column wise, we just create the two divs for this, and it will automatically act as a like column wise. So because div is a block, not an inline, right? Inline div is a block element, not an inline element. So if you want to show in the row, you can just show in a flex. We can apply the flex and make it a row. So we can build this. So let's go and create. What is the name of this component? This is the testimonial, right? So we have to create a component name with the testimonial. Testimonial dot tsx. So in this we can write testimonials. So we have a more, not only one, testimonials dot tsx. Then we can create react arrow function, right? rafc. And in this we have to import necessary icon that we are using in this. And you can see that when the user is clicking, it is going to the previous and back. So you have to track that state, right? At what state or now the card is there. So to track that state we need use state, right? So we have imported use state from the React, and this icon from the Lucide React, right? Then you can define the here the TypeScript react.fc, and here we can create the use state, right? Const current index, comma, set current index, and use state equal to 0. So here in this card, suppose this first card on the 0th index, and you can see that when we click in this dot on low, so you can see that when we click on this dot, also it is going to that part, right? That part automatically. So we have created 1 2 3 4 5 6. So these are based on the index. So we are tracking each element, this each data based on the index, right? So here we have created a current index, a use state variable, and the function set current index, and the initial it is 0. The index will be 0, obviously. Then each testimonial have a data, right? Each testimonial have a data. What is the data? Then first of all we have a name, then we have a country. So here the country KR, right? This is a GB, this is the country code, right? Then we are showing the code, so this is the code that the user has rated. Then we have a star, 5 star, so are using 5 star for each component, right? And the course, so here the UI UX we are showing, right? So this is the course, and here it is showing ET, right? ENT, the first letter of the name. Here is showing AH, so first letter of this name, the first letter of this word and this word, the first name and the last name, right? So how we are going to get this first and the this first and last name, the first letter of this both the word? So we will see this also how we are going to show here, all right? So don't worry. So I've already created the data for this. So I, like other section, just I've created this data. In this data we have an array of object, and we have a name, country code, rating 5, and the course web development. Similarly we have created many data, right? So we'll close this. So this is the data we have created. Suppose we want to go to the next testimonial. When we click on this, it is going to the next testimonial. How we are going to build that function? So we'll create a const, and it will say next testimonial, next testimonial, and here we can create a arrow function, and in this next testimonial we can create a set current index. So first, initially the current index is 0, right? On the first, when you load your page for the first time, it will be on the, suppose we are on the this index. So let's refresh this, it automatically come to the first, right? So initially it will be in the first index. So we have to, when user will click, it will go to that, right? So we have to get the previous state, right? First we have to get the previous state. So at what state the card is on the previously, then suppose it is in the 0th index, so this card is on the 0 index. Now when I click on this button, it go to the first index. So how we are going to do that? So we can just add previous plus 1, so it will go to the next index, right? Simple as that. Then we have to use this testimonials dot length. So why we are using this modulus? So suppose the previous state maybe, like, we can take it, the previous state is like the 0, suppose. So we have to go to the 1, so we have to add 0 plus 1, what it will be 1, and modulus of testimonial dot length. So testimonial length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So testimonial length is 6. So 1 modulo 6, what it will be? So 1 modulo 6 will be 1 only, right? Testimonial. So how we are going to go to the previous testimonial? We have to create a previous testimonial arrow function in this set current index like above. I have to get the previous state, and the suppose the previous state is like, suppose the previous state is like 1, the current index is 1, we want to go to the this 0th index. How we are going to do? So we have to subtract. Here we are adding, here we are subtracting, so it becomes 0. So 1 minus 1 become 0. So for suppose we are on the first index, this one index, not on the 0 index. So 1 minus 1, it will become 0. Then plus testimonial length, so testimonial length is 6, right? So 0 plus 6 is 6. Then we have to take the modulus, so 6 modulus. So we can avoid this part also, but you can write this part if you want. So here we can write the modulus of 6, modulus 6 will be 0, right? So after that, this is for this buttons, next and previous, but this will go one by one. Suppose when I am on the fourth index and I want to go to the 0 index, so when I click on this, I have to it to go to the third index, then it will go to the like previous index, then it will go to the, so it is going one by one. Suppose we are on the 0 index, I want to go to the last index, so I have to click one by one, so it is going one by one, right? But here I have added a functionality, when I want to go on this index, just I click and automatically it will come. It will have not to go through all this testimonial, just we can click on any testimonial, directly it will jump on that testimonial, right? Here we have added functionality for this button, but for this it is going one by one. So how we are going to jump on that? So to jump on that, it is very simple. Go to that slide, we have created a function, go to slide, and we are as receiving index, right? So each have an index. Suppose the first object has the 0th index, we want to go to the first testimonial, so we'll just take the index. So we have passed the 0 as an index. So if you want to go to the third, so the third come as a parameter, and here we pass as argument set index, it will be the 2. So automatically it will go to the send index. So when we'll map all this data, we are going to use index, not as a key, sorry, as a key. We are going to use the index as a key, and we have to track all these object using the use state, and how we are going to identify each object. So we are going to use as index for each object. So each object has a index, first index, then second index, third index, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this how we are going to get each index, and we are going to track using our use state. So let's create the JSX part of our testimonial section. So use section tag, and in this we can create a div, in this div we can create another div, and we can create a h2 tag, like previously we have created h2 and paragraph tag. So I'll just copy and paste, right? And for this we can create the class name padding by 20, bg gradient, right, from to bottom right, and blue from blue 50 to via white, and to till 50. So these are the colors we can use, and then we can make the class name for this also. So container, then we can write mx auto, then px4. Then for this you can write class name, text, center, and margin bottom 16, right? So we have this like other section, the heading and the paragraph. Now we have to create this div, right? So let's create that div. Let's go below, and first of all we'll create a div, and in this div we create one more div, and in this div we'll show the code. So we have a first this code icon, also you can see that on the right. So first let's style this class name relative, and then max width we can write 4xl, then mx auto, then go for this div, and here we can write bg white, then rounded to xl, and shadow we can write 2xl. So these are the simple css. So I'll just copy and paste it, and I'll show you. So this is the simple css, and in this we are going to show the quote icon, right? Whose position is absolute, top 6, right 6, and height width, right? Here we have shown the quote icon, right? So now after this we have to show this stars. So and then after this stars we have to show this quote text. So let's create a div first. So div, and in this div we get one more div, and first let's just style this class name for this div. So let's just style with the class name relative, then we can write max width 4xl, then mx auto. Then in the main testimonial we want to show, so just we can write, no need to write, we have already written above. So z10 z index, and here we can write flex, then we can write margin from bottom is 6. So we have to map the data, right? So let's map all the data like array. So let's create an array, and we are using a spread operator. Array, then testimonial, then in this we have to find the current index. So current index, right, and dot rating, then we can map over this data dot map, and in this we are no need to, we can take it as a underscore. So we are not showing the data, just we want to show the rating. So here we can write the star. So in this we can show the star icon, and we can fill with this yellow color. So fill current, and the text yellow 400. So here we are getting all the arrays data of the current index testimonial, that rating So the current testimonial support is this, then rating is 5. So we are getting the rating of that testimonial using this spread operator over the array, because here we are using arrays, right? And why we have used array? Because we have to show the 5 stars, right? So here the 5 rating is 5, so we have to show the 5 times this star 5 times. So that's why we are using here spread operator with the array and the testimonial and the with the current index with the rating. So rating is 5, so the 5 times. So suppose rating was 4, so the 4 icon will be shown. So that's why we are using arrays, right? And here no need to pass anything, so just empty as a we can pass the underscore, right? And obviously we are going to pass the star have a key, right? So we are using my function, right? Then after that we are showing the like code. So this is the code in the double quotation. So in the so we are using the tag block code, and in this we are showing the testimonial. This is the testimonials dot current index dot code. So here it takes the testimonial current index code. Here we are not using the any parameter, so that's why we are writing like this, testimonial current index dot code. Otherwise you can pass the parameter also, so no worries. And after that we are showing the name, right? Name, and before name we are showing the first letter of the first name and the first letter of the last name, right? So how we are going to show that? So below the black code, let's write this part. So I'll just copy and paste and show you. So here in this part we have created a div, then for the making responsiveness, then we are making with this div in the center in the flex, and in this we are showing the name. So name dot split, so we are using split method in the javascript. So what is that? So in 0 the first letter, we are starting the first letter, then we are joining it, right? So this how we are making. So here the first is the Ahmad, then Hassan. So we have to take A and H. We have to get that. So how we are going to get that? So current, so each object has a name. So first we'll get the name, then we will split, right? Then we will get two things. So here we will get the two things based on the space it will split. So suppose it will make two words, so it is in a one, right? So it will make the two arrays, right? And in that, if you get that, then it will map over this the first. So we have a two arrays, then it will map over this. So first the first letter it will take, and then it will join both of them, and then it will show in a proper div, rounded div, right? Rounded full, right? And then here in below we are showing the name, testimonial current index dot name. So we have a name also, right? So we are showing name, then we have to show this the country and the courses that we have taken. So similarly accessing the objects, right? So here now we have made a div for the, so this we have made for the like the name that we are showing, right? Then here we have made the two buttons, right? So in this two button, let's go and see, this is the two button. So in this we are showing two buttons, so for the left, for the right. Then on click what it show? So next testimonial function will call. So here we have created the next testimonial. It will go on the next testimonial based on the index that the function we have defined before, right? Then we have indicators, right? So we have to show indicators based on the how many objects we have created. So here suppose we are showing the 6 indicator because we are showing the we have created the 6 object. So we are not hard coded, we are just created the indicator based on the number of testimonials. Now down below we have it, we can create a div and we have to show this three things, three items. So like other section we have created, so we have to create a parent div. In this we have a div for the each three elements, and each three element have a we are using div because it has a like column wise property. So it is in the block scope. So here the div is in the block element and it is showing this data on the UI, and we have designed how it should show the color, the font, the text, right? So these are the simple div that we have created. Now come for the pricing plan. So here also we have a same heading and the paragraph, and then we have a card. So each card have a same style. Just here we have a most popular tag on the middle card. Then we have a same this icon. Then we have a 3-month plan, 6-month plan, the same. Just we have to change the content the same style. Then here we have a some this list what the benefits that we are going to get, and then we have a buttons, right? And that's it. So we have to create this. So let's go and create the pricing component. So go to the component and create the pricing component. So pricing plans dot jsx, right? So in this we have to create a react arrow function, and in the pricing plan we have to import all the necessary thing that we need in our react application. And then here we can define the type of this react arrow function, and we have already created the data for this, right? Each have a icon, then we have a heading, this paragraph, then the price, then the benefits of this and the buttons. So we have already created all this data. So I'll just copy and paste it and show you how I have created all these things. So first of all we have to create an array of object, each card as a object, right? Each have a name, we have an icon, then pricing, then the period, right? Original price, how much it is, description, what are the features we are providing, and not included. So when it is not included, so this is the thing that we are not providing. So we have to make as a opacity less, right? So we have created for that also the arrays, right? So then here we have button, then popular false, and the gradient of this card. So here we are making popular false because this is the popular one. So for that we want to show the same different style either over the tag and the button, right? So that, so for this we have make this object popular as a true, right? And not included because we are providing everything. So this is an empty for this object. So this is the way to create the array of an object, right? So when you create all this data, it is very easy to map over all this data and so on your UI, right? So let's close this and let's create the section for this. So I will use the section tag, section, and in this section tag we have created a div, and in this div we will create one more div, and in this we'll show the h2 and the paragraph that we have created in the other section, right? Then similarly we have to write the class name for this. So I'll just copy paste and I will show you. So let me show you this. So here similarly we have, like other section, we have created the section styles and the div and the two divs, and here is the h2 tag and the span tag for the different style of this text, and here we have a paragraph tag, and below this we have to show our all the cards. So here we have a card, so we have to style one UI and we have to map all this data on this UI. So let's go and create. So we'll create a div first, and in this div we will map all the data. So let me style this div. So here I use the grid, and the large devices we are showing 3, and here otherwise it will be 1 for the small devices. So let's go for the small devices, and it will show the one card at a time, right? Let me format this document. Then here in this div we want to show the plans, right? So let me map all this data, plans dot map. Then we have to map the data, plan comma index. Then here we have to const. So we have to write const to show the icon, const icon equal to plan dot icon. Then you have to dot write plans dot map, and we have to map over this icon, right? And then we can return JSX. So what we are going to show, so in this parenthesis we want to create a div, and in this div we are going to show our popular plan. So first I will pass this as a key, and then we will style it. So here we have passed the index as a key, then we have a pass the class name, and in this class name suppose we have a popular plan. So suppose we have a popular plan here. So if it is a popular plan, then show a border green 200, ring 4, and the ring green 100. So here you can see that the border on the top, right? So we have created the different style for the popular plan dot popular. So here if plan dot popular, so here popular is true, right? Here is false. For this card popular is true. So we are, if it is true, then it will show this style, it will apply, otherwise it will apply this style, right? Then one more thing. So when the plan is popular, right? When the plan is popular, then we have to show the most popular, right? So this is the most popular, this is the batch above, and here we are showing the most popular. So we have created a div, and in this div we want to show the, we in this div we want to show this text with the background gradient, and the text is white and it is in the center, right? So we have shown here. Here you can see that the in the background we have a background color and the most popular text. And let's go and see the other plans. So here after this div, and we want to show our all the data like icon, the heading, the paragraph, right? So let's create for that also. So I will create a div, and in this div let me format this document, and in this div we want to show our all the icon first. So I will just copy and show you what is the icon that we are going to show in this div. So in this div we are going to create another div, and in this div we want to show a icon. So to show a icon we have created a div, and in this div width of this background, so each icon has a div, and in this div we have a background, right? So the background color and this gradient, it will come color from the that object that we have created above, right? And in this we want to show the icon, so the icon will be displayed. So we have to style the above two divs also. So let me style the above two divs. So in this, if plan is popular, then it will show padding from top is 12. So if plan is popular, it will show some padding from the top, right? So after that, what we are going to show? So we have a this icon and heading, right? So icon we have shown already, so we have to show the heading. So I'll show the heading. So after this div icon, right, we have to show the h3 tag. In this we want to show the plan name. So plan name is like 6-month plan. Then we have a paragraph, then this paragraph will show in this description. Then we have a list of all these what are the benefits, but before that we have a this how much dollar, and before the previous price and the now the offer price, right? So we have to show that also. So to show that, I have created another div, and in this div I have shown these two span tag, price and the plan period. So here is the price, right, and plan period per month, right? So here this plan period is coming from here, the per month, right? This is the period. So all this object we have created before. So we have to show original price also, right? So let's show the original price also. So to show the original price, and you can see that we are here, it's calculating how much. So this is the before was $59, now is $39. So how it is calculating that? We have a saved 34%. So we have to write, we have written the actual logic for this. So how we are going to write that actual logic? So after this popular plan div, and in this we have to show our another div, and in that we have to show our, so here we have created a parent div, and in this we have created a span tag, and there we are showing the original price. Okay, that is okay, we have shown the original price. Then we have a style as a, we have underline that we have marked the text like line through, right? This is the line through class, so line will be gone from that text. And we are showing a badge and the color the background, and it's showing save 34%. How it calculating the, we have calculated the how much we are saving from the original price. So we have to calculate between the original price and the current price. So here is the plan price right now and the before the original price. So how we are going to calculate? So we are going to use math round, so it should be in a proper digit, right? No decimal. So we are using math dot round. Then here we are slicing the plan. So plan price is suppose is $59, $39 suppose, right? So here we are slicing with that plan price, and we are first converting into integer, then original price, then this is the how we calculate. So plan price is this, and divided by original price into 100. So this how we calculate the percentage, right? So and minus 1, because if you will not calculate minus so it should show a opposite one. So like how much we have to save, right? Suppose we have buy the 100 rupees. So here suppose original price was 100 rupees, and now it is 80 rupees, so 20% has been decreased, right? We have saved 20%. So how we are going to get that? We are subtracting from that, right? 100 minus 20, right? So that is 80%. 20%, the 20% we have to take, right? So that difference we have to calculate. So that's why we are subtracting minus 1. So so if we subtract with the minus 1, so after calculating all this, we are multiplying with the 100, so it will come in the like 0.34, then it will multiply with the 100, then it will become 34%, right? So how much we have to save, right? So that much, that one we have to show, right? So after that we have to show this check icon and this all this list of the benefits. So to show that, we have created a div, and in this div we have to show the each icon. So span div, and in this div we have to create a div, and after that we have map all the features. So plan dot features. So here in this we have to go inside of this, right? So here we have plans and dot feature, and in this we have to map each array, right? So how we are going to map? So here we are plan dot feature dot map, then in this each has an index, right? So each array has an index, and we have to map, and we have to get all the this list of that feature that we are providing when you buy this plans. Then if plan not included, so plan dot feature, and what are the feature that is not included? So this is the feature that we have not included, right? So we have to show that, we have to show in a different way. So for that we have to make the here where it is. So here if it is not included, then we have a style in a, here opacity is 50, so you have decreased the opacity, right? See that the opacity has been decreased, and here we are not showing the check icon, the sign icon, right? So here we are showing the, here the check icon, here we are showing a div, just a div, we are not showing the icon, right? So this is the div we have created, and this div has a height of this and width 4. So here we can use the icon also, but this is the line that we have created using div, that we are showing that this is not included in the plan, right? So we have shown this. Then we have a button, right? So popular have a background, and the text color has a different. So how we are going to show that the different button for each? So to show that the different button for each, so after this div we have to create a button. If plan is popular, then show the background gradient this, text color this, and this, otherwise it will show this. So the popular that we have made true for the second, the card, right? So that's why. And then the plan dot button text. So button text with it is like this is the text: start learning, most popular, best value. So this is the text that we have created in our object, right? So we are showing that button also. Then we are creating a div and the similar like other section and start free trial button. Then this is the heading and the paragraph. So how we are going to show this? So similarly that we have created for the other, we can create here another div, and in that div what we are going to show the heading, and not sure which plan to write for you. Then here is a paragraph, and then we have a two button, start free trial button, and the button for the compare all the features, right? So two button we have created in this div, and each have a paragraph and the heading and the two buttons. Then we left with this remaining. So when you click on this, the model appears, right? So this is the different model, this is the different model, right? So how we are going to create this? First we'll create this UI and we'll apply the on click it, the model should open, and we have not created the model open for this free trial button. So we'll see. Now let's create bottom to CTS section. So here we have a background color, and then we have a heading, then we have a paragraph, then we have a three cards similar to each other. Just we have to change the background color, then the icon, then the hiding, and then we can change the paragraph. Then we have a two paragraph below. Here I have shared the email and the phone number. So let's create this part. So let's go, and we'll create a component, and name is a bottom cta dot tsx. So rafc react arrow function, then import the necessary thing that we need in our application. Then here when you click on this, it open a model, right? Each open a different model, right? So how we can make this model? So we will build this model later. First of all we will make this component, and we will build all the three models. So first let's create an interface, and in this interface like bottom cta props, and then we can create open trial model, and this is a function that we are going to create which return void. So this how we have to create open trial model. So in the previous also, like in the navbar we have created, similarly we have to create the here also. So open chat model, open trial model, and open counselor model. So three model, trial model, and this trial model will apply to this button also, then this counselor model, and the chat with AI model. So how we are going to create this? So to create that, here first of all we'll define the types of this. So react dot fc, and here in this, here write colon, and then here bottom to cta props, right? This is the type of this component, and we can pass the props open chat model, right? Then open counselor model, and then open trial model, right? Three of them we are using as a props, right? And when we make these models, then we'll receive and as a props, right? So here in the return we have to show our section. So create a section tag, and in this section we are going to create a div, and in this div we are going to create another div. Then let's create another div and another div, then h2 tag where we will write ready to transform and the paragraph, right? So let's create this. So here we have created a h2 tag where we have written this text, and then we have a this paragraph. So here we have a paragraph, right? So and each paragraph has some style, right, that we have applied. Let's style our. So for the first section, right, so I'm just copy pasting this style. So let me copy the section, right, and we have to create separate div for this. So let me recreate. So here in the section we have to create a background first, right? So here you can see that the background first. So here first the section, then we have it background, right? So we have to create two divs, and their opacity is 10 and background black, and here from blue to transparent. Then for the section, the whole section will apply a color that is like, here you can see that the padding from white and the background from to bottom right, and then the via blue to teal. Then it is relative and overflow hidden. Then we have created two divs, and after that this div we have to create our another div. There we will write our heading and all. So let's create another div, and here we will write our h2 tag, right, and the paragraph tag. So let me copy and paste. Then to style this div, write class name, right, and in this we have to apply the container, right, to make it responsive, and mx auto for the in the center, and the this padding x and the relative and the z index to apply on another layer. And here we have a text center and the margin from the button. Now after this div we can go and create the these buttons. So each have a similar, right, similar style, just we have to change the data, right? So I'm not going to create the separate object for this. If you want, you can create a separate object where you have to create a icon, right? Then we have to create a this heading property, then we have it with the name title and the description, right, like other section we have created. But if you want to create like that, you can go and create, but for this I am going to create this as a here only. So I have just what I have did, I've created a div, and in this div I want to show these three on the large devices, greater than medium devices means large devices, medium devices, extra large devices. Then on the small devices it will show one only, right? And max width for excel, so it will take the proper width and it should be responsive, right? Then after that, here we have created the button. So this we have a one button, two button, three buttons, right? So we created the three button. In that, when you click on the first button, it will open a trial model, and it has some style of this button. So you can see that some style of this background color, then text color, hovering, you can see it's scaling, right? So we have apply here, and you hover bg blue and hover on the scale, you can see that scale here. So scale 105, and then we have a calendar icon, right? Then we have a title and the description, right? So simple thing, just we have just a style according to your needs. So we have to copy everything as a same, but you can create a class of an object and you can pass each data. And here we have just added here the Tailwind class is the background color hovering effect for this different. And when we click on this buttons, it open a different model. Here it will open a chat model, here it will open a counselor model. So this is it. Now here we have a two paragraphs, right? So we'll just create a two divs, right? And in that div we will here we'll create two divs, and in this div we'll pass two paragraph. Still have a question, you can contact on this number on the email. So right, then this is for like the large devices, but when we go on the small devices you can see that this, when you scroll down, right, here we have a different, here in the bottom we have a three different call to action button. It open the like chat, this open the counselor, like here also we have, right? So we have on the mobile devices we have added this extra thing, that on the bottom it should be stick to the bottom, right? So that it quickly connect, right? So here for the small devices we have created this thing, and you can remove this thing, this bottom paragraph, and just you can add this also, so no worries. So we have to create this, the bottom sticking like navbar, right? Just we have created three items, like chat, call, and the free trial. When we click on this it open a model like this. So when you click on this it open a model like this. So similar thing that we have to do, right? So for this also we have to create, and we have to hide this on the like uh, large devices. On the large devices we have to not, we are not showing this bottom sticky, right? So we have to create the sticky bottom bar, right? So let's go out of this section, right? And we will create a div, right? Let me show you. And this is showing here because we are writing out of the section. So we have to use React fragment, right? And we have to remove this and closing, here it is closing. So use React fragment if it is showing, right? So here we have created a similar like div, and it is hidden on the medium and the greater than medium devices, right? It will be hidden. So we are showing this on the small devices, and the and should be less than the medium breakpoints, and it is should be fixed on the bottom, right? Bottom 0, left 0, right 0, right? And here the white border gray, right? And similarly we have created a button, and when you click on this button this model should open, right? And this function we will create in this other component, right? When you create the chat model, counselor model, so in that we will create all this function how it is going to open. So when you click on this it should show a pop-up, and right, and you can chat. So this is how we have created this. And here we can create another div, and in this div what it does, height it should be 16 and the md it will be hidden. So this is the spacer for the sticky bottom bar on the mobile. So we have to create like this. And after this when we click on this models it should open a model, right? So let's create a model. So first we are going to create chatbot model, right? So let's create a chatbot model, chatbot model dot tsx. So this chatbot model dot tsx rafc. So when you are chatting with them like this, so it should show a response, right? So here I have added pricing. So when I use this word, so it is show a proper response. This is a hard coded response, and it show the time also, right? So let me pricing again. So it's showing the current time, right? It is showing the current time also, and this is the user. So we have created the proper chatbot, right? And suppose I have given the random thing, so it should show a random response, right? So we will create this chatbot. So let's go and create the chatbot. So create a chatbot, we have to import the necessary thing that we need, right? So we need use state, that to track each chatbot model is open or not, and use effect, we have to use effect. So we can mutate the objects like the current property, so to make the DOM manipulation, right? And the use effect for the side effect. So here we have imported some Lucide React icons, and here we have to create a interface. So in the TypeScript we create interface, then here we define the chatbot model props, and in this we have to is open. So this function, what is done is this boolean we will take as a boolean is open, the model is open or not, right? So false or true, right? And on close this function, it should return nothing, right? And when we are messaging it, right, so it should have, right, some id, right? So timestamp we are showing, right? So we have to create the type for that. So each has a id, and id of type number, text should be string, whatever the text we are chatting. And we have to track who is sending is the user and the bot, right? Response from the bot. So to sender, who is the sender, we have to get that also, and the timestamp is the type of date, so that is a object, right? So this is the TypeScript. Now we will pass, we will write the type of this component react.fc. Then here we like chat bot model props, and here we can write like is open. So these two things we are passing, right? Is open and is close, on close. So these two as a pass, we as a props, right? uh, Here we'll write all the things, right? So suppose we are going to create the user state first for the message. So for tracking what the user has sent the message, right? Const. So and we are setting this message to this div also, right? So whenever user is chat or chatbot said, it make this in a, and when you open this, it maintain the state, right? It maintain, see, it does not disappear. So when I refresh it, right, and now I open, the data is disappear, but it remains the data, right, until we refresh. So here we'll create a message to track the messages, whatever the we receive or send messages, and then we can write set messages, and here we can write use state, and here we can type what is the type of this, is a message type that we define. Here we are define message, right? So message, and this is the type, and it is in form of array, right? So it can have a multiple message. Then we have to pass the initial state. So what we are going to pass, so initially it should have message, right? When we open this, Here it is showing initial message, hello, I'm your learning AI assistant, and here is some message, right? So how we are going to, a sender is bot, right? And the timestamp is the current timestamp, right? Here it will take the current timestamp, right? So initially it is showing this data when you open for the first time. So here we will create an object, right? It is in a array on of an object, so we store as object, right? So multiple message will be there, so we have a pass the id one, and the text is this text will appear for the first time, and this sender will be bot, and the timestamp is the current date and time. So from the current date we are just extracting the time, not the date. So just we'll extract from the new date object only the time. Now whatever the user is typing, we have to track that also, right? So this is the message that we are storing here. So this user state dot. Now what is the user is typing, who gonna to track that, we are going to track using user state also. So here input value, set input value, right? So this value we have to track, and we have to set that if typing. So suppose I am typing something and I am chat, so that time the this has been disabled. See, and I typing and see it has been disabled, right? Disable for a, so let's me type and see it has been disabled, right? See, so this is typing. So when is a type, so it is showing the three indicator, right? So we have to show this indicator also, right? So we are going to take is typing, right? Set is typing, so we have to track that also. So we have to create, initially it will be false, then we have to update the DOM also. So to manipulate the DOM we use ref. So this is, all this will be in our DOM, so we are changing our DOM. So to play with the DOM we use ref. So we have to update this message in this box, so we are going to use ref, right? So const message and ref. So here we are use ref, and it is type of HTML div element. So because when we message, this is a element, right, that we want to add in this row, and it should maintain the previous state also, right? So we are updating, we are playing with the DOM, manipulating the DOM. So we are using use ref, and initially it will be null. Then we have created the predefined response. So suppose here, if message is hello, it will say this, reply with this message. If it pricing, it will this. If you write trial, it will apply this. So let's trial. So and it message trial, yes, we have for a free trial class this experience. So this message coming from this. So this is the predefined response. Then we have a bot responses. So this is the bot responses that we, suppose we type some random message, right? This is not the predefined message, so this is a random message that I have message, right? So this if user not type according to this predefined, like hello, pricing, courses, if user have not message with these words, then it will show any of these response. So now currently it is showing this response, right? You can see that. Now let's type another random message and let's see. So great question, let me share some. So here you can see that this response it has been showing. So when it does not match this, then it will show this random responses from the bot. This is the predefined, and this is the random bot responses based on the random messages, right? Then as soon as here, as soon as we are messaging something, it automatically scroll to up, right? So how it is scrolling automatically to up? So to do that, we are using use effect. Then here we are passing a arrow function, and in this scroll to bottom we are creating a function. Will create a function scroll to bottom to handle this use effect, handle our side effect in our application. So scroll to button, then we have to pass a dependency. So whenever we do message, right, then it automatically scroll to up, right. So we will create the scroll dot bottom function. This will call in the message when we message, right. So let's create a scroll to bottom. So we are going to use the use ref. So const scroll to bottom, right, and in this we have to create a arrow function, right, and in this arrow function let me create an arrow function, and in this suppose if message dot endref, this is coming from this. So this is the user that we define. So we have to manipulate with the DOM, right. Then current endref dot current. So this is the property from the user ref, right, and if it is, then scroll. So this is from the scroll into view. So this is the method, right. So it this method, what is that, it will scroll if it is not in view. Suppose if you message it, so it will automatically scroll and make in the view. So the our message should be in the view to the user. So this is the very important method in the, this is in the JavaScript that we have studied. And suppose if we can pass here as a argument something like behavior smooth. So here you can go and read the MD documents, right? So let me open and show you. So when you scroll below, so where is just, so here you can pass the behavior smooth. This is the optional. So here in the optional scroll into view, we can pass the behavior smooth so that it will scroll smoothly. So here we write behavior and is equal to smooth, right. So smooth scrolling. Now we will create this function to like generate bot responses, right. So I will just copy and paste and show you how we are going to create this function. So here we have created a generate bot response function. Here we are passing the user message, and this user message, right, this is the user message. Suppose any message we got from the user, this message is, right, user message as a parameter, right, and we have to convert to the lowercase, right, so that it should not mismatch with the lower cases and the upper cases thing. So we have to converting everything into lower cases. So suppose user message is hello, this is the user message, and the pricing. So if the message is a message include hello, then otherwise or it is hi or hey. So not only this, we have created hello, instead of this we have also included hi and hey. So it will define predefined response dot hello. So predefined response and hello. So we have to access this value, then we have to access the object value, we use object name plus property name. So property name is hello. So predefined response dot hello, right, and it is type of string. Then if the message includes price, then it or cost or pricing, then it define it should respond with this pricing response. So in this pricing response, what we define this value, right? And similarly we have written for our, so if suppose it doesn't match with this, so we will, what we will do, so here the we have created bot responses, right? So return bot response when if this thing will not include, right? So math.float, math.random, so just we are leaving the random, like it keep the method random, give the 0 to 1, between 0 to 1 it gives some random number, then we'll apply, multiply with the length of this bot response, so 1 2 3 4 5, then according to that it generate any random number, then we multiply, and it should be in the 0 to this length of this bot response arrays, right? And based on that we are responding. So suppose bot response dot 0, then it will respond with this message. If bot response dot 1, then it will respond that message, right? So this is for the random message, right? So now let's create our handle submit function. So when user will submit, right, how we have to handle that message, right? So const handle submit, and in this we are creating a async function, and in this we are passing a event, right? So event of type react form, react form event, right? So we are submitting a form, and in this we are creating a add function. So what this handle fun submit function does, first of all we prevent the default behavior of the form, then if we'll check, if not input value dot dream, means if no value will be there, return nothing. So if no value will be there, it will return nothing. Suppose if have some message const, we can create user message. So suppose a user message is there, and in that user message of type message that we have created the interface above, right? So what this does, first in this we'll store our id, so message messages dot length, first we'll find the length of the message, so it has a array of an messages, right? Array of an object, so you will find the length and it will create id with the length. Suppose message length is 6, so it will add 1, it becomes 7. So text, what will the text, whatever the user has input, right? So input value, right? Then here we can write a sender, who is sending, user is sending, right? So user will type and send, then timestamp, so when user has sent, suppose user has sent now only, so we have to get the date, new date. So and after that come out of this and set message, so message equal to user message. So but we have to maintain the previous message. If you not use if you not use like a spread operator, right? So it will not like remains the, suppose here we message to the chatbot, So when we if you not use spread operator, the previous message will be replaced, it will be disappear and replaced with the new message, but we want the previous state also, right? You can see that. So we have to make sure our previous message should be persistent. So here we will use spread operator and we'll make the previous message should be there and user message the current user message, right? And it is all these messages are an array of an object. Then set input value, what will be the input value? It will empty. So when you message the input button after submitting some message, the input button should be, input field should be empty, right? So we had made empty. Then set is typing true. So when you message, right, true. So when you message, right, so when you submit some message, then typing is true. You can see that the typing loader has been shown for a while of second, right? And then bot typing delay, we are writing the bot typing delay. So how much we want to make it delay, right? So set, so it can give instantly, but we are m- making some time delay so that it should show to the user, right, that it is taking some time and it is the chatbot is thinking and then it is giving the answer. Similarly, we the user has sent the message. Now bot has also two response, right? Cons bot message. So what this bot message of type message? It has been the same type message, and in this it is an object obviously, and it has been id, and this id should be different for each message, right? So we will message dot id, sorry, length, so plus 2 will, here we'll make plus 2, right? If you write plus 1, so it will take the previous. So each id should be each message should have a different id, right? Not the same id. And generate bot response, so this is the generate bot response based on the input value, so whatever the user has input, right? And sender is, who is the sender? So let me comma here, sender. Sender is the bot, so we'll write bot here, right? Then we have to timestamp, so when the bot has been messaged, so at what time, so we will new date. So this will give the date and time both also, but we have to take the time only. So how we are going to get the time only from the new date object, so we will see soon. And here after this, out of this object, we have to create set message. Then we have to set message in like the box, right? So we have to maintain the previous messages also should be persistent, right? And here it is an array of an object. So first we will fetch the previous message and then it will add with the bot message, the new bot message. Then set is typing false, so suppose user has bot has been responded, then false, then we no need to show the typing, right? Then at what delay it should show the like typing indicator, right? So here we are writing in the millisecond, the 1000 millisecond math dot random. So you can write the simple 1000 millisecond means 1 second, right? And you can create the some more complex things here. So 1 to 1000 millisecond, So we can create these things also, so no worries. And after that, here we have to write if not open. Suppose if model is not open, right? So here is open. If it is not open, then return null. So we have to not show the model, right? Null, right? Then come for the main part, the JSX, that how we are going to show. So in this we'll create a div, and in this div we will write everything. So first of all we'll create another div, and then we'll create the header. So the first div, right? Let's write the class name for the first div. So class name fixed, then inset 0, then bg black, then bg opacity 50. So when we are opening, right, so background, you can see that the background has been blurred and it is focusing on this model only, right? So that we are writing like this. So these are the some small things that you have to notice and it have to show, right? And here where we have done mistake, mm, div class, this is another div. Okay, remove this extra div, and here we are making the background white and the rounded to excel and the max width, and here overflow hidden, right? So these are the simple CSS, right, we are using. And here for the backdrop blur, right, in the, you can see that the background is blur, right? So we have written this simple. So here we are writing a div, and in this div, right, here first of all we have to create this green one, right? Then all the chat will be appear in this. So here first we have made a full div with the this background white, rounded to excel, shadow to excel, with full max width, and height this much, right? Now we have to create a div, another div. In this div we have to make this, we have to create a separate div, right? In this we have to make a background green color, then here the bot icon, the AI learning assistant heading, and the paragraph, and here the cross button to close it, right? So let's see this. So here we have created a div. In this div we create another div, uh, in this div we created another div, and we are showing the bot. So the bot, here is our bot icon with height and width is 6. So here first we'll style the first div. So in the first div I have added the class name flex item center, and justify between padding some background gradient from this green 600 to green 700, that you can see that here green 600, here is some light, here is some dark green, right? So these are the simple Tailwind CSS that we have used. Then we have created another div. In this div we are making all our content in the center, this all this cross icon, this bot icon, this heading, it should be in a proper div, right? So it should be proper container. And here we are showing the bot icon. So after the bot icon we are showing these things, right, in the row. That's why we are using flex, right? Here we have used flex, this is the parent div, right? And after that we have to create a div where it should show our heading and the paragraph. So here we have created a div. In this it will show a heading and the paragraph. So it is also a block element, so it should show in the column wise. See that one below one, right? So, and we have just styled this with the text color, text size, right? Now here in the right side we have a cross icon. So, and on that we are closing it. So on close, what we have written, so on close it is returning nothing, just it is. So let me show you. So on close, what is that? It just returning nothing, just it closing that, right? It closing that model, right? So here we will create a button, and in this button, this is the paragraph div, and out of this we have to create a button, and in this button on click, on close. So on close function, what is that? It will return nothing, just it will close this, the pop-up, right? And that's why we are returning null for this void, right? No, nothing, void. And here it has been, we have styled this cross icon like background height, width, background opacity, item center. How will the transition color, see hovering effect on this, right? So depends on you how we are going to style this cross icon, right? So let's see another part. So in another part we have a box, and in this it has a all chats, right? It has been all chats, and in this chats we have a, in the left hand side we have a bot icon with a beautiful background green color, and the message and the time. Here on the right side, the user message with the blue background color and the time, right? And the user icon. So we have to make this. So to make this, let's create a div. So here we have a div, and we have to map all the messages that user and bot has shown, right? So we have to show messages, all the messages, right? So messages dot map, right? And in this we are passing the messages. So message, and here we are not passing index because we have already have a id, right? So id we are going to use as a key, and it is a better option, right? id. And here we are creating a div and pass key as a id. So message dot id, then we have to style this. So first we'll style this class name. So class name, so with the class name flex 1, right? So here we'll write class name padding 4, then overflow y. Here we'll write auto, then space y 4. So these are the some CS Tailwind CSS. So overflow y we have made auto, like it should show the all the messages, right? So for that, and then here we can add a class name, right? So suppose here, suppose if the bot response, right? Here we have a bot response, so it is showing on the justify start and the user must message on the end, so justify end. So let's see this. So here I'll just, here I use the class name flex, and if the message equal to user, then it show in the end. If otherwise it should show the start. So message is user, so it is showing the end, right? And if the bot message, it will show in the start, right? So this is the power of Tailwind CSS, right? And now we have to style all the messages, right? So I'm going to create a div, and in this div we'll create another div, and in this we will map every message. So suppose here we have a row of this message. So this first the user bot message, then the user message, bot, user message, and in the row wise, right? Row reverse. So we are going to use row reverse for this. So let's see. So I'll just copy and paste. So here I for the div we have a style this like flex item start, right? So in this the item will be in the start. So whatever the user message, right? So suppose user has message, right? The sender equal to user flow flex row reverse and the otherwise flex row. So here and over in it, so flex direction. So in the you can see that the bot icon and this sound this message in the flex row reverse, right? Here you can see that the user is there flex row reverse, otherwise flex row. So it should be in the opposite side, in the reverse side, right? And here the message sender equal to user, then the background color will be this and the background green for the this bot. So we are showing this user icon, right, in the row reverse, right? It should be in the opposite side. Then we have to show with the icon, right? So below this we'll create a message sender equal to user, right? If user is there, show the user icon, otherwise show the bot icon, and the bot color will be the text white, both the icon. But we have applied the background different for each, right? For the user we have applied blue 600, and the for the bot we have applied the green 600, right? Then we have to show the message, stick to that. So we have to stick message to this bot icon, not to this. So how we are going to do? So we'll create a div first. So let me go below this div, and we'll create a div, and in this div we will show the message sender. So we like a paragraph, and in that we will show the message. So I will just show you how we are going to style this. So here we have a div, and in this div first we'll take the padding from the x and the padding from the y. So this is the message we want to show. So padding from the x and padding from the y. Then after that we are showing the like rounded xl to xl, right? So here we have rounded the message corners, right? And after that here if the user sender is user, then so apply these classes. So if you are writing this custom, so based on the condition, right? So we have used the backtick, right, inside the tailwind classes. And after that we have to show the message, right? So we have to show the message, the user message and the bot message. So suppose if here it is showing the message.text, this message.text is coming from this, thus if the sender it should show this, and we have applied this row reversal. So right, with this it will stick to this. So here in the user it will so apply this classes, right? And here the size of the message, and with the if user is sender is user, right? Then the text this otherwise text gray. So you can see the text message has some white color and this is like some gray color, right? And here we have to show the time step. So here how we are going to convert. So suppose we got the date object, so it should include the in the new date object it has a today date and the time also, right? So it has the to as a string it is coming. So when you console log of new date, so it will show the two things, the date and the time. Then we are using the local time string. What is the that convert time to a string by using the current or a specified local. So it convert the time into string and it should be an array. So what it does, so hours it take the 2 digit and the minute 2 digit. So it will take the hours and digit only, not the second. So it should the when we get that object we get the today date, uh, like hours, minute and the second. So we have to take the hours and the minute, right, the 2 digits from this array, right? So that's why we are using local string time to convert the time to the string, right? And after that we have to show to the UI, right? So after this, suppose we have to show typing, right? When we have to show the typing, so here let's go below this. And when we have to show the typing, so when the bot is thinking, right, before the response, so we have to create a is typing. If user is typing, then show the three dots, right? So when user is and the bot is thinking, see, bot is thinking for a fraction of second, you can see the three dot, right? So how we are going to create, so we have created a three div, and in this the for the three dots, so animate bounce, and the second dot will be delay of 100 and the third will be the delay of 200. Animate bounce, this is the tailwind classes animation classes, right? And in that, here here on the bot side, so it it should show with the bot icon, right? So initially it is showing with the, see, the bot icon and this, and then the this this three dot is replaced with the message, right? And in this we have to use the, we have to manipulate the DOM, right? So here it is showing this, the three dot, the loading. Now we have to replace this with the message. So we are using use ref, right? This, so you here allow to get the ref component of the instance. Once the components unmount, React will set the current ref.current to null. So what it is that, so we have to replace this three dot with the current message, right? The bot response. So that's why we have written this, right? So it will replace this div with this div, and this div contain the message, right? Now here below this we have a input tag and the send button, and below we have a paragraph. So how we are going to create that, so let's go below this div, and in this we are going to create a div. So I'll just copy and paste and show you. So we have created a div here, and padding between this div, right? Inside the div we have a 4, then border from the top and border gray 100. So it has some borders, right? See, when it border right on the input box, so here we have apply border on the input box. And the when we are using the form tag, so handle submit, so we have use the form event, right? Handle submit. So what this handle submit does, the it is a form event and it take the user message and bot response, right? So when the user has typed something, right? So how we have to get the user typed value, e dot target dot value, and we have to set in this use state updater function. So this is just set input value that we have created above, right? And the value will be the input value, right? Whatever the user had typed. So we are using on change. So when user type, it is changing something, right, on the input. So they are using on change event, right? So here below we have a submit button, right? The send button, and it will disable when the input is empty. So here input is empty, then it will be disabled. See, it has been disabled, right? So we can't send the input empty message, right? So this is the good point, right? We have to notice here. And then we have a paragraph below this form. AI responses are simulated for the demonstration purpose. So we have just created the demo purpose. We can add the real functionality, right? According to your edtech platform, you have to train the AI, and then it should show the proper response according to your needs. So we'll format this document, right? So we have created this model with the AI. So here we have a two things model we have remained with the talk to counselor and the book your free class. So we have to create these two component. So there's two model we have to create. So create that. So we have to create a component model form. So model form dot tsx. So we'll create this two model form in one component only. How we are going to create? So you have a different data here, input values. Here you have a different input value. So name, email address, preferred subject, and the preferred time slot. And here is a name, email address, your phone number, and the message. Two things are the different and two things are the same. How we are going to create a component in this component? How we are going to create the two model in the same component? So we'll see. So let's create our model form. So let's create our first react arrow function, and in this we have to import the necessary thing that we need in our this component, like use state to track that model is open or closed, and form data, right? So we are going to use state for that. And then here we can define a props like interface and model form props. And then in this we can check that the model is open or closed, right? And the title is string on type trial or counselor. So here when you open it, so this the model form, in the first it's showing the full name, email address, and the two other field like preferred subject and the time slot. Then for the counselor, full name, email address. These two things are common for that also. Just we have written these two extra different fields, right? Phone number and the message. And when we click, it will close. So how we are going to? So we have defined the trial and the counselor. So we are going to create a single component. In that we are just going to change this data, right? And here you can select the time slot, right? So let's create this. So, and here we have a title type string, right? And we are going to use here. So first of all, let's create our model form component, and in this we have to define the type like react.fc, and in this we have to pass model form props, and then is open, and then it's on close. Then we can find the title title and type. Then after passing all this data to our this model form as a props, we can create a use state for the form data. In the form data, what are the things we have? Name, email, and subject, time slot, and phone message. So here we have a 4: name, email, right, and subject and the time slot. Then here name, email is the common, just two things different, right? Phone number and the message. So for that we have to create a use state to track the value of this. So we'll create a form data, set form data, this use state, the variable and updater function. Then here we have use state, and initially our email, name, subject, time slot, phone number, and message we have stored as a empty, right? Then we have to create two other use state. So for what? So submitting is submitting, set is submitting means is the user is submitting and is submitted. So each user is submitting or submitted. So here suppose I write some here at the gmail.com, and here it is submitting, see it is submitting, and it has been submitted. Then it show a pop-up, right, and the pop-up disappear, right? Let me show you again. At the rate gmail.com, then subject, see we have to select all the fields, it is submitting, so we have to track that. And here it's showing will contact you in your 24 hours, and the pop-up disappear. See how cool it is, right? So if it is submitting, then it show a loader, right? And if it is submitted, then it show a like pop-up that appear after submitting form that will contact you within 24 hours, right? Then we can see the subject options on here. When you click on this, it's have some objects, right? Some list of subjects, and it is an array, we can store in array. So we have to store multiple strings, right? So these are the subjects we have created, right? Then we have a time slots also. So for time slots, we have created the time slots for different times, right? And after that, how we are going to handle submit when the user has submitting, right? So let's create a function handle submit. So this handles submit function, and it has should be async. And when we are submitting this form, this should be a of event of type React. So like in previous we have done, right? So similarly we have to do for this model also, like chatbot we have created, right? Form event, and here we can create a error function, and in this we have to prevent the default behavior of this handle submit. And set is submitting, initially it is submitting will be false, sorry, we can make it true, right? Because it is submitting. When it is submitting, when we will click on submit button, it is submitting, then the loader should appear, right? Then it will call a API, right? So for a fraction of second, like we are not use like a real API and all, but it when you submit, it show a loader, right? For a fraction of second, like it is submitting, right? So we have just created a promise with the set timeout a little delay, right? New, await new promise. So this is the promise, and it will resolve, this promise will be resolved. So when it will be just set timeout, and it will be resolved after 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, the our promise will be resolved and the form is submitted. Then after that, make the set is submitting false, and set is submitted true. So when it become true, we have to show the pop-up, right, that we will contact you within a 24 hours. That pop-up we have to show after the submitter. So and then reset the form after 3 seconds. So when we are submitting, right, we have to clean this, we have to make this empty, right, write the form so that a new form can be submitted. So set timeout, and in this we have to create set is submitted false. So we have not submitted, right, initially. And set form data, we have to make the form data empty, so the new form should be submitted, right. So because after submitting one form, right, after submitting form we have to make the all the fields should be empty, so that the new user can come and submit, right. You can otherwise the you can also submit again the form, right. So we have to make that empty, and we have to close, right. So it will close after 3 seconds. So we have to close this on close, right. So we have to call this on close function, right. And here this in the set timeout, so we can make it as a 3 second. So after 3 second it will be closed, right. Then after that we can target the handle change. So like when the any input element, so when the user is changing something, right. So how we are going to handle the change, so we can handle. So let me copy paste and explain you what handle change does. So it take the event when you hand when the user is submitting, right. React change event when the input element, right, selected element or area element. So all these types we are like we are changing here, right. Here we are changing, right. So then set form data with the previous data, and we are maintaining the previous data, and we are making this the target e dot target name equal to e dot target value, right. So let's close this and go to the counselor. See, it has been empty when we close this, but see it before we fill this data. Suppose I edit an Vikas here. So let me write Becodewala. So we close this, we open this. So this counselor is empty, right. And see that when we open again, the data should persist. So data is not disappearing, right. It maintain the previous state, right. So when you close also, so it will empty after submitting only. So let me gmail.com, when we submit, then only this all this form will be see, and it has been submitted. After 3 seconds it will disappear. See, now this has been empty. So let's I type something, I close this and I open again. So it keeps my the previous input data, right, until I refresh our page or submit it, right. So how we are going to maintain the form data? E dot target dot name. So name of what is the name? Name is here when we define the input, we provide the name, and the we have to track that value also. So what is the value we have to apply according to each name. So this when you type create a input element like type of name, so here we will define the name equal to name, and then it should have a value. So value we will store as e dot target dot value. So this value should be in the form full name. Suppose we selected digital marketing and we close it, then the digital marketing should be in this field only, not in the other field. So it should have e.target.name. So this name will define in the input field and the value also will define in the input field. We'll see below. Our model is not open, right? If our model is not open, then we have to return null, right? Let's write the JSX part. So here we are going to write the JSX part. So let me write the JSX part here, and here first we'll create a div, and in this div we have to define the class name. So like previous component, here also we have to make, so when we click on this the background should blur, right? So and the opacity of the background become like 50, we can make it 50, right? So and we are going to use black color and we have to make the black color opacity to 50. So how we are going to do that? So I'll show you in the last section. We have made the fixed, right? Then the inset equal to 0, then background black with the opacity 50 and the background will be blur, and the flex item center justify center, so that our card should be in the center, right? This is the parent div, and inside that we are creating a div in that the background. This is the background white div, and in this div we have to show our all the fields, right? So this div should be proper responsive, right? Max width MD and the like width full and the max height 90 VH and overflow by auto, right? Then we have to create our header. So header is our is book free trial. So when we click on free trial, it's so book free trial heading. But when I click on right counselor, it show talk to counselor. So how we are going to change the heading? We have to show dynamic data, right? So to do that, let's create a div, and in this div we have to show h2 tag the title, this title, right? And a button to close that pop-up. So let me, so here we have created a div of flex items center justify between to make our everything content in this form should be in the center and responsive, and the border should be gray. Then we have use the title, so this title is coming from this. So this title we will see soon how this title data should appear here. So we will see soon. So first of all we will create a button for the this here to close this. So on close method will be called. So this on close is written while right in the interface we have defined, and after that we have to show the content, right? So let's create a div, and in that div will show everything. So I'll just copy paste and show you. So let me show you what we have done here. So here we are checking in this div is submitted. So is submitted, then it should see it is show a calendar icon, request submitted. So suppose we submitted gmail.com and trial, see it's submitting, and it submitted a calendar icon, then a header and the paragraph will contact you soon. So how we are going to create that pop-up? So if it is submitted, then we are going to show that pop-up, right? So it's a have a div proper div, and the calendar icon with the green 600 and request submitted. And if type is trial, then it should show will contact within 24 hours. But if not the type of trial, if it you have submit the counselor form, it will show our counselor will reach out within 2 hours. So let's submit our counselor form data, and let's type some random phone number and message. So we are submitting this, and you see our counselor will reach out within 2 hours. So we are showing the dynamic here, the dynamic content. So after that, if on handle submit, so we are submitting some data, right? So here using the full name, right? So here is the full name. This full name is this label. So both have a same full name. Right here you can see that the label appearing on the top, and it has a icon, the user icon. So this is the label, and this label below we have an input, right? So in this input we are here, you can see that the name equal to name. So here we have shown e.target.name. It what it will do, it will find the in the input field the name, and then if it and how it will get the value, right? Equal to e dot target dot value. So suppose you are in this field, so it will take this value. This value is coming from the form data name, and on change handle change. So all the data when the user is type or do some changes, it will this function will be called, and it will store your data, right? And this field is required, right? So these three things are important in this, very very important, right? And similarly for the mail also, name email value form data dot email, and the change handle change. So why we are using form data? Because here in this set form data, right, here in this form data only we are, this is in this variable we are storing all this property like name and all. So that's why we are shown. So this email and a name should be common, right? But here on the trial we are showing the subject and the time slot. So if it is trial, then we have to show the subject, right? So this is the label subject, so we are showing the label, and this label is like this label, and the option, so we have to show the option. So option, here is the option, and this name should be matched, right? So if you not retain the name, so if you close this, suppose you selected data science and close this, and when you come back the data science will not be there if you not retain the correct your name and the value and the on change. So on change will call this handle change event, right? And it will maintain the value of your like input field, and the set form data updater function, the user state will maintain your data, right? And then select subject, what we are going to select. So subject dot map, the subject we have created right here, all the subject web development. So we'll pass in the options, so this option should be there. So here in the option we will pass the all the subject data, and here we are, so after passing subject we have to pass the time slot also, right? So this time slot, similarly we have passed the time slot as 11, the name should be time slot, and here the form data, and this on handle change, so it will handle the user input selected, so it will select the slot, that slot where it is coming from, the slot time slot. Here we have created the different time slot, right? So after that, if the type is equal to counselor, so here in here the type equal to counselor, then it should show phone number and the message in this card. So here we are showing the phone number, right? Then here we are showing the message, right? So the similar like above, and if the submit button, if it is submitting, it should show right submitting. And when it is disabled, when we are submitting the form, we can't click on button and handle submit again, right? So when the one form is submit, then only we can submit another form. And if it is type of trial, then show a book free trial and request a callback. So see, request a callback. So this text is showing because of this type. So if it type trial, then it should show this, otherwise it should show this. So here above we have seen that the title, so this title is coming from here, and how we are going to change that title. So we will see how. Here we have talked to counselor, we have changed, like here in the button we have changed, but here we have not written that how we are going to change. So we'll close this, and in the app.tsx we have not written our app.tsx, so we'll write app.tsx, and in that we will define our title. So here we have not passed the title data, right? Just we have created this as a props, right? So this has no value, so we will, when we use in our app component, we'll pass as a props. So here we'll see our remaining component like app.tsx, right? So let's import all the necessary thing that we need in our app.tsx, like navbar, hero section, curriculum, all the component that we have created, right? And the use state also. So like to handle the open and closing of the model. So this is the app, the main app.tsx, which control our whole application. So here each trial model open, set is trial model open. So this we have not defined here in the model form. Is trial open or not, we are using all this. Here you can see that, like in the, where is our, like in the chat bot, sorry, in the bottom city, here we are using open trial model on counselor model on open chat model. Where is this all this coming from, right? So we have defined the interface here, right? And we have passed this as a props. Here define as interface, we have passed this props. So when we import all this, we'll receive as a props here. Here we have created each trial model open to track the, if the trial model is open or closed. Initially it will be closed, so we have defined the initial state false, right? Then we will see the navbar. So here what we have done, in this we are defining the minimum height screen. So each, so each section should take the height screen, right? So should be proper, and the background will be white for our whole landing page. So you can see that the background is white. And here navbar on open trial, set is open trial model true. So go to the navbar. So in the navbar you can see that we have passed this open on open trial model, right? So we are receiving as props from here. So on trial model, open model, right? This on open trial model, this should be naming should be same that we have created, and that time the set open trial model should be true, right? When we click on this, right? So and this function we have applied on our below, right, free trial button on the navbar, right? So when the user will click on this free trial, it should open, right? So that time it will be true. So and for the home section, we have defined id for each section, like how we are going to track, like on the home, circular, curriculum, and the how it works. So we have defined the id to go to the each section, right? So in the navbar, so each have a id, right? So here it has a id, href home. So this is the we are using id, that's why we are using hashtag. So to track the each section, right, with the id. And in the hero section, on open trial model, each set trial model open true, right? So in the home section we have a like book a free trial, we have apply on this button only, and this button is a book free trial. Then we have passed this curriculum component that we have created, that we want to show. After this hero section we want to show curriculum, so we have created the curriculum and we have passed the id for this section, right, to track this section. And here we have created the usp section, how it works section, and the testimonial and the pricing plan. And now for the bottom, so below the bottom cta section, here we have a book free trial button. So when we are clicking on this button, so it should open a trial model. So in the bottom cta model, we have defined the set trial model is open true, and here we have defined the set chat model open true, and this model should open true, right? And here we have to show the model form when we click, right? So the model form, that component we have imported, and is open is trial model open. So it, so in the model form we have defined, we have passed two props, is open, right? So is open, so when it is open, this is trial model will open, so it will open. And then here on close the set trial model will be false. Then the title, that data we are receiving here, the title here we are passing as here book your free trial, and we are defining the model form as a trial. Type is trial, here the type data is coming from here, the type trial. Similarly we need the same form, right? The same form we have defined here, but just we have changed the each counselor model open. So here we have to, here if the each counselor model open, so here each counselor model, so which model is open, right? So each counselor model open is coming from here. And then if it is open, then it, if it is true, then it will open this model form. And on close the sets console model false, and title we are changing from here, and the type also we are passing from here, and this receive as a props in this model form component, all this as a props, right? Like open, on close, type and title, these four props we are passing, right? This is open, on close, title and the types. Then the chat model, here we are passing two props because we need two props only, right? Here is open we are pass, and the on close, right? For this component we are just opening and closing the chatbot, because we no need of this title and the type, because we have defined single a chatbot model separately, right? So this how we have created our, so this how we have completed our this edtech landing platform landing page, right, with all the functionality that we need, right? So hope you guys like the video, subscribe the channel and don't forget to share with your friends. So we'll meet in next video with a new amazing project, and please follow on the github and give a star on the repo. So thanks for watching, we'll meet in next video with